Welcome back to Tax UK with myself, Adam Hill. Did you know that the UK has a hidden income tax rate of 60%, leaving taxpayers with only £40 from every £100 earned, or even less than that once you deduct national insurance? Now, if you have ever paid tax here in the UK, then you should be familiar with this table here and the rates that apply to the income that you earn in the UK. It's pretty simple, really. You have a £12,570 personal allowance, meaning that any earnings up until that point will be taxed at 0%. From there up until 50,270, any income would be taxed at 20%. From 50,270 all the way up until 150,000, that's higher rate tax and you pay 40% tax. And if you're lucky enough to earn more than £150,000, then you'll pay additional rate tax at 45%. What you will notice here, though, is that there is no headline of 60%. You can't see it anywhere on this table here. But if there was, then you'd probably imagine that it would slot in down the bottom here, so that the highest earners, the people that earn the most money out there, pay the most tax. That's how it works in a progressive system like we have. However, that's not how this tax actually works. And you'll find this hidden rate actually slots in somewhere here, right in the middle of this higher rate band. So in reality, what happens is if you're earning this kind of money, then you'll move from 20% to 40%. From 40%, you'll go on to 60%, which is our hidden rate. You'll then drop back down to 40 and then continue on to 45. Let me show you an example here of how this actually works in reality. So on the left-hand side, you can see I've got an example of somebody earning a salary of £100,000 exactly. And all I've done is transfer the numbers and the bands across so you can work out exactly how much tax they pay. Again, they benefit from the personal allowance. They pay no tax on the first 12,570. The next 37,700 is taxed at basic rate, that's 20%, and then the remaining £49,730 is at the higher rate of 40%, giving a total tax liability of £27,432 on a £100,000 salary. And you can see very easily here that the highest rate of tax that's being paid by this person is 40%. It's highlighted right here for you. Now imagine that we receive a pay rise, okay, just over 25%, and our salary moves up to 125,140, our example on the right hand side. Now I've picked these figures for a reason, the 125,140 and the 100,000 as well. £100,000 is a threshold, and it's a threshold that you don't really want to cross, as it's going to cost you a lot of money in the form of tax. For every £2 over £100,000 that you earn, HMRC will deduct £1 of your personal allowance. So if you earn £110,000, then HMRC are going to deduct £5,000 of your personal allowance, and this figure here would reduce down to £7,570. By the time you reach a salary of £125,140, which is why I've selected that figure here, your personal allowance has been retracted in full. You don't have one anymore, which means none of your salary will be taxed at 0%, and instead you immediately get taxed at 20%. So you can see here, this line actually looks the same. So we're paying 20% tax on the first 37,700, and then after that, everything falls into the 40% category. So 87,440 at 40% gives us a total tax liability of £42,516 on £125,140 salary. Again, you might look at this and think that the highest rate of tax that you're paying is here, 40%. But if you actually think about it and break down the numbers here, that's not quite how it works. So let's look at the increase in the tax liability. So the new liability less the old liability The difference is £15,084. So a £25,140 pay rise, and we're paying £15,084 of tax, which is a huge amount. If we then take the additional tax liability and divide it by our pay rise, in percentage terms, that's going to tell us how much tax we're actually paying, the effective tax rate on that pay rise. And you can see here, it's clearly 60%. And that is our hidden tax rate, which doesn't actually take into account national insurance as well. Fortunately, though, national insurance is only 2% at these levels of income. But it does mean any income that you earn between £100,000 and £125,000, 140, would be taxed at 62% in total. And you'll only take home £38 from every £100 earned. And that is where you'll find the UK's hidden income tax rate. I hope you found that useful. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.